launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods, Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, March 21st, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. People like to say that it's not official until it's official, and it doesn't get more official than when you get it straight from the source, like we did with this new update from Hassan Mostafa, who announced that he'll be taking his talents to the Orlando Pro for his season debut. Even though he's been only officially prepping for a few weeks, the changes that he's made in such a short period of time have been pretty wild to see, because you're already starting to see how the work he put in during the offseason is shaping up. Hassan was one of the busiest athletes in the Open last year, but for one reason or another, he never quite managed to secure his Olympia qualification. But if he can really dial it in over the next 3.5 months, all of that waiting will have been worth it, because it'll feel that much more sweeter when he finally seals the deal. Have you ever met someone who always feels like they're having more fun in the gym than everyone else? Because whenever you watch video of Martin Fitzwater doing his thing, it's hard not to come away with that vibe. According to the latest update that we got from Martin, his weight is hovering somewhere around 260, and he's hoping to put on another 10 pounds or so before the end of the offseason. In the 2 times we saw him during last year's rookie campaign, he managed to crack the top 5 both times in some pretty competitive lineups. And now that he's had another full offseason to add in to that base, I don't think it would be a surprise to anyone if he ended up landing in the first call-out whenever he decides to make his season debut. If you're a fan of a certain age, then you might remember a bodybuilder named Joel Stubbs, who made a name for himself because during the early 2000s, he had one of the craziest backs that you've ever seen. And we're not saying that Ronald Gordon is Joel Stubbs, but if you're seeing this video right now, it definitely looks like he's on his way. Ronald was pretty quiet last year as far as competing is concerned, but right now it looks like he's trying to roll into his 2022 season firing on all cylinders. And last time we saw him compete was back in 2020 when he placed 5th at the Tampa Pro. So if he comes back this year with an upgraded version of what he was then, watch out, because he'll be ready to do some serious damage in the right lineup. I know there's been a lot of talk about Aaron Banks climbing the ladder in men's physique lately, and rightfully so. But EB might be having some company in his corner because Andre Lincoln looks like he means business. Earlier this week, Andre posted this video on his Instagram showing off his current off-season conditioning, which looks pretty damn good if you ask me. Even though he came into the division with a lot of hype over the last 2 years, he's shown that it was warranted because he's turned himself into one of the most dangerous athletes in the division. And if he continues to trend upward, he could easily find himself competing for a top 3 spot at the Olympia later this year. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.